Hello again, Ian Stokey with Mastermind Games, back for more painting. Continuing with the Rogue Trader Kill Team box set and Larsen Grauss, boy. Golden Skin 09092. Grauss is Electromancer of the Adeptus Mechanicus, and since Elucia Vane has found many useful resources for the Cult Mechanicus, Grauss is accompanying her and sending back constant reports as well on what she finds, though not necessarily with her knowledge. And I've seen so many Mechanicus betrayals of other Imperium forces to facilitate their own interests that I'm surprised they can be considered loyalists at this point. Getting right down that color here. Alright. Now, I need to think a second. Okay. Marine Teal 09077, I'm continuing the same color scheme. So, continuing that teal and silver, make the whole group match. Not too worried about brill parts on this one. But, okay. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and let that dry for a bit before moving on, but there's a start. Still having some focus problems, oh boy. Next, Chaotic Red. Might be a little thick right there. Going over the gloves. Let's see, I'm going to pick those grenades out another color, but I will get this pouch of his. His boots, but he's got greaves on the front of them, so I'll pick those out later. Alright. Lose my mind, he's got another glove on. And I'll get part of his helmet, but I might redo it later. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry for a bit, I think, before moving on. Okay, next, plate mail metal. I'm gonna use this just on the greaves. And on the trim to the coat. Oh, boy, thinking. Something's going on with me. Okay. Trim to the coat. Including the design, which is probably a Lucia vein. It doesn't look too much like a Mechanicus design, at least not one I'm familiar with. And then I'm going to use it to get some wires. Get the interior of the goggles if I can. Keep my brush moist but not overly wet. One thing Grauss has in abundance is wires and cables. Alright. One more. I got a little thick. Okay, there we go. I may as well get this in the steel too and pick out some details later in other colors. Oh, let's get the buckles on his coat too. And Stormy Gray 09088. Because he's packing grenades too. I believe they're described as concussion grenades, which do they get some kind of bonus against enemies that are adjacent to a terrain feature. I can't remember if it's extra wounds or extra strength. I get something against them. And then Old Bronze 09197. coils on his helmet, his breastplate, his pistol, which I cannot remember what its description is right off the top of my head. But it is a piece of equipment tied to his particular order in the Mechanicus. Going to do the interior of the coils with a lighting effect, so I'm not going to paint them right now. Not until after the shading. I will get the rest of his backpack. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. Well, looks good. I think that's base coats. Oh boy. And the brush takes a tumble. So once this dries, I can move on. That is a nice solid start. I'm only getting my camera focus, so it's a nice solid start. Okay, time to shade. Matte black. So, since this is a darker color, I'll be using 2 to 3 parts water to 1 part paint. Normally it'll be 1 part water to 1 part paint. Now, I went ahead and took more of that marine teal to pick out the straps in the back of the boots, just so they stand out from the rest of the shoe. Yeah, that's still not enough water. Using straight black is tricky. Okay, that should do. Now aged Pewter 09196. Still having that blur problem. And the big one will be the breastplate there. Okay. I'm going to need to let that dry before moving on. To start. Next, Blackened Steel 09205. Let's go over all the silver here. Pull that spillage there. So, looks like new Adeptus Mechanicus models have been previewed, including cavalry on robot horses. I would not have expected that. So, yeah, that's a thing now. At the point where I can probably only do one color at a time for shading right this minute, so there we go. Back as soon as it dries. Next, Deep Ocean 09076. Okay. I think I can go ahead and prep some lighting effects too, so matte white. Using just enough water to thin the paint, keeping the brush moist but not overly wet. Using white as a base over lighting effects will help it give the illusion of glowing. Of course, on larger models, you could always incorporate LEDs. One guy I saw locally put working lights into one of his Blood Angels tanks and converted another one into a little RC vehicle. Okay, I just realized I probably had my hand in the way there, but picking out these lights at the end of the hat. kind of what was lit up on the model and the mini codex that came with this set. Yeah, that looks okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to let that dry before I do the red, but we're getting there. Okay. Red brick 09001. Haven't quite decided on what all the lighting effects are going to be, so I can hold off on those a little bit longer. At least got it set up. Just going over the red. So, okay. All right. Just making sure I get everything up top before I go down to the bottom. Okay, that's just going to leave the skin tone and the lighting effects. Okay. Golden Shadow 09091. Whoa. Gotta be real careful around the nose here. I want to get just that and not anything else if I can help it. Now you would expect a Mechanicus 8 up to be pretty scrawny, but he's actually pretty buff when you look at it. Those are pretty big shoulders and biceps he's got. Which would make sense if his equipment's as heavy as it looks. Marigold Yellow 09007. This is going to be a lighting effect. It's going to go on the screen here. So on lighting, you want to do 2 to 3 parts water per 1 part paint. Thin that out real good, and key is to leave some of the white showing through. Helps sell the illusion it's glowing. And then Sky Blue 09018. Which is going to go on the rest. And, you know, the decision to use orange on a lot of Imperium screens has everything to do with the video game Space Marine, which I've seen playthroughs of it but not been privileged enough to play it myself, opens up with a couple of assumably people arguing on a orange colored screen about the fate of a world that's come under orc attack. So a little bit more on the tip there. Okay. Well, this screen didn't turn out so good, but the rest turned out fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it. So let that dry, and once it does, I can highlight and detail. Actually, I can do one detail right. No, I need to do that later, so we're good here. So leave it and highlight when it's all dried out. Highlight. Golden highlight 09093. Switching to a dry brushing technique. So completely dry brush, straight paint only, no water. What about the bulk of it on a paper towel? It makes it looks like there's nothing left. And then lightly dust the area to be affected, going against any raised edges to help catch the paint. Vampire red. You generally want to work from the lowest point of the model to the highest, but sometimes that's easier said than done, and you gotta either dip into some colors twice or just make a judgment call on what areas to do first. There's no right or wrong way on that, so. Refreshing the paint as needed. This color combination is a bit subtle, but it does work. And I am switching brushes freely. Surf Aqua 09078. Oh, come on, play nice. There we go. Not as much of this is on as not as much of this color on him as on his teammates, so. Uniform gray. Not a lot of this either, just a bit on his grenades. True Silver 09207. Low to this. Okay, hang on a second. Alright, system's getting a little cantankerous again. Oh boy. Gotta love getting stuck with shoddy equipment that, well, you know what, to be fair, probably has less to do with my PC and more to do with the programs. You work with what you got, and feel the internet's been abused for a while in terms of companies releasing half-finished products and relying on patches and fixes later on. Tarnished Brad 09198, I think that's enough of a rant about the frustrating state of technology for one video. Doing it very lightly on the hat. I want to shine up the ends of these coils nicely, though. And give his pistol a nice burnished sheen. Okay. Almost forgot to do his goggles, so back to the steel there. Just. There we go. And matte black. Which is running a bit thin, but I have a backup on hand if I need it. There we go. Make sure I'm not dropping hundreds of frames a second here, which, good gravy, seems to be the case. Screw it, I'm finishing this anyway. Just get a little dot on the gun barrel here. Like that. And then taking a flathead. It's going to tidy up the base. Be careful where the feet meet the edge. Alright, that's all the painting. Got to base it still, but just 380 something drop frames later. Alright. Back for the basing in a minute. Alright, time to base. There's it. Alright, white glue and water. Have I clogged this up beyond use? Oh boy, this is going to be ugly. There we go. Oh boy. Amazing how you can get problems even with something as simple as a bottle of glue. Sacrificial brush. Sacrificial because this will ruin a brush sooner, so carefully painting around the feet of the model. And giving it a dip in my basic material, which in this case is a mix of fine, medium, and coarse talus or rock debris. Just tidy up the edge and use a spare brush that's dry to just push it away from areas I don't want. A bit of a divot there, that'll help it. Alright, I need to let that set for a bit. I come back, last step I can do on camera. Oh goody, my screen has gone bonkers again. Okay, wrapping things up. Scenic cement. Now the only thing we'll have to do after this is going to be to varnish it. Can't do that on camera though, since it involves an aerosol spray can. But glass eyedropper, because this will bond to plastic, and just carefully drip it on, let the material just soak this up. This will seal it. And you need to wait a bit before doing this, otherwise your basic material will, well, this will just push the material around, actually, is what will happen. So, okay. And, Larsen and Grauss. So I've got 2 more things from the Elicidian Stormy Strikers, and that'll be the end of the World Trader Black set. Until next time, I am Ian Stokey with Mastermind Games, signing out.